Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful and the most beneficent. So today we will discuss about fluid mosaic model. In our previous lectures, we discussed about cell wall, cell membrane, and composition of cell membrane. In that section, we just discussed a little bit about fluid mosaic model. We also discussed about the other previous models reported by different researchers, but not acknowledged by the researchers. However, fluid mosaic model is accepted by a great number of researchers and audience. So today we will discuss about that fluid mosaic model. Uh, Two kinds of non-covalent interactions are usually present, that are hydrophobic and hydrophilic. As you guys know that hydrophilic are water-loving molecules or regions that has polar group for aqueous environment. However, hydrophobic are water heating or water repelling non-polar groups that usually present away from the water and requires energy. Cell membrane recognition site activate enzymes in membrane which begins cascade of events which activate other enzymes. This is called signal transduction. Cell membrane that has specific properties, as we studied in our cell membrane lecture, that the membrane allow selective permeability to specific compounds or molecules or ions, and the recognition site that activates specific enzymes in the membrane, which just starts a cascade of events that helps to activate other enzymes, is known as signal transduction. So we have peripheral proteins, integral or transmembrane proteins in cell membrane, that are the properties of those specific proteins. As the word transmembrane proteins describes, that these proteins just move from the membrane. And transmembrane means that the protein specifically move from the membrane. They have drastic treatment by using different types of reagents, and it has strong connection with the lipid molecules. And these proteins are globular in shape and present usually on the surface, or you can say embedded on the surface. These proteins prevent membrane thickness larger than 75 to 90 Armstrong. However, in peripheral proteins, they have a mild treatment and have increased the ionic strength of the membrane. Dissociate them intact from the membrane, strongly intact from the membrane, and have usually weak non-covalent bonding. It is not much strongly association with the lipid molecules. However, transmembrane proteins has strong association with lipid molecules. Peripheral proteins spread as a monolayer all over the membrane. However, in transmembrane proteins, or you can say integral proteins, they are embedded or present on the surface of cell membrane. So here we have some amino acids shown in this slide that are non-polar. What do these amino acids have in common? In common, all amino acids are non-polar and hydrophobic in nature. That are glycine, alanine, valine, leucine, isoleucine, proline, tryptophan, phenylalanine, and methionine. However, we have another class of amino acids that are polar in nature, include serine, threonine, cysteine, tyrosine, asparagine, and glutamine. However, electrically charged amino acids are that are acidic in nature and basic in nature. The amino acids lysine, arginine, and histidine are basic in nature. However, aspartic acid and glutamic acid are acidic in nature, as their names just suggest that they are acidic in nature, as aspartic acid and glutamic acid. These all amino acids are polar in nature and are hydrophobic. So protein domains anchor molecules within the membrane into the membrane. So here, if you see in this picture, here is the lipid bilayer, as we discussed in our cell membrane lecture, that these are the lipid bilayers, and these are the cholesterol molecules. And here is the transmembrane protein in actual, because it is moving from the protein. Usually, it has alpha helices in it, and this is the polar area of the protein. This one. However, this one is non-polar area of the protein. As we discussed in our this slide, that hydrophobic region have non-polar groups. However, hydrophilic has polar groups. So here we have polar area. It means these are hydrophilic in nature. However, these are hydrophobic in nature. That's why these are inside the cell and these are outside the cell, because usually cell has to interact with the water. And within the membrane, these are non-polar amino acids, hydrophobic in nature, and anchors the proteins. However, into the membrane, on the outer surface of membrane, there are polar amino acids usually present. These are hydrophilic in nature, because these are water loving, and on the polar amino acids are present on the surface of the membrane, so they have to interact with the water, extend into extracellular fluid and into the cytosol. So here we have another figure, and you can see from this protein that it has so many alpha lyses, and it is transmembrane. That it means it is moving or passing from the membrane again and again. You can see these are the alpha lyses. This is the C terminal of this protein and N terminal of that protein. This is the cytoplasmic side. However, this is the extracellular side of the protein. So peripheral proteins loosely bound to the surface of cell membrane, and self-surface identity marker antigens are also included in this. However, integral proteins, or you can say transmembrane proteins, these proteins are penetrated in lipid bilayers, as we see in this figure, that these are penetrated or moved from the or passed from lipid bilayer again and again, and usually across whole membrane as transmembrane protein. These proteins helps to transport of other proteins, molecules, and ions, because these proteins have specific channels or specific paths. So that paths or channel helps to move the ions or molecules inside from out from the cell, or from outside of the cell to the inside of the cell. Here we have some examples like water channel bacteria. Here is a protein, transmembrane protein. You can say these are beta plated sheets, these are alpha helices, these are bacterial outer membrane, the transmembrane protein. This is another transmembrane protein that moves from the protein, have carboxyl group here, and movement of H positive from this side to that way. This is the cytoplasm, and this is the outer side of the cell, or you can say these are the non-polar hydrophilic helices in the cell membrane. This is also a transmembrane protein. These are two examples. We just have a look of how transmembrane proteins looks like. Many functions of membrane proteins. Here we can have a quick look. We already discussed this in our cell membrane lecture, that this area is the outside of the cell, the light blue color. However, this yellowish, or you can creamy color is is the inside of the cell, and this is the plasma membrane. So transporter, these proteins just help to move ions from outside of the cell to the inside of the cell. These helps in the enzyme activity to specifically enhance the activity of enzymes. Cell surface receptors, that there are some receptors who that just interact with the surface of cell for other metabolism or catabolisms. Self surface identity markers, you can see here, cell adhesion and attachment to the cytoskeleton. These all are the basic functions of membrane proteins. Here we have a quick look of electron microscopy for the cell membrane, that just describe that in actual the proteins are not placed on the cell membrane. However, it is embedded in the cell membrane. As we just have a look to the transmembrane proteins, that these proteins are not placed on the cell membrane. However, it is embedded in the cell membrane. So here you can see in these figures. So in fluid mosaic model, we just have to look all these to understand what in actual the fluid mosaic model is. So if we will have a quick look or have a good understanding on all these concepts, then we can understand the fluid mosaic model in a few minutes. So here is the plasma membrane. You can see, if you will cut it with the knife from here, you can see that this is the extracellular layer, and these are the protein cytoplasmic region. You can see that it is embedded in the protein surface, not placed on the protein surface. It is embedded from one side. You can see it from the downside, and also from the upper side of the cell membrane. So here you can see that it is the inside of the extracellular layer. However, it is the inside of cytoplasmic layer. So here you can see so many beads or so many proteins that are embedded in actually. So membrane phospholipids forms a bilayer you can see here it is the bilayer of hydrophobic tails. It is the CH2, so many long tails similarly here, and then it is a head. This is considered as a tail, however this is like a head, and the head is in usually hydrophilic in nature because it present at the top of the cell membrane, and it has to interact with water. So if it will be hydrophobic, then it is not good. So it is hydrophilic in nature and just intact with the water and has hydrophilic in nature. However, tail is hydrophobic in nature because it is present inside the cell membrane and has lipid bilayer considered as. So here we have hydrophilic head and hydrophobic tail as we see in the previous slide. So this is the water, and this is another figure of tail and head of that specific. So here we have literal movement occurs 10 to 10 raised to power 7 times per second, and this was it usually this movement occurs many times in a second. You can say 10 to raise power 7 times per second there is a movement in these two. However, the flip of these two lipid bilayers, it is very rare, and here it is like once in a month. So it is 10 to raise power 7 times in a second. However, this flip is once in a month. So this is also the property of lipid. So here we have a fluid, a viscous material, saturated hydrocarbon tails, unsaturated hydrocarbons, and cholesterol. So if there is a fluid here, and these are unsaturated hydrocarbon tails that is not saturated and not straight to link with this one, so it is like bended and just change the shape of lipid bilayers. However, when these are viscous and saturated hydrocarbons, the tails are straight and connected with the other upper tails. However, when there are some cholesterol molecules, as we studied in our previous lecture, that usually cholesterol molecules are also present in the lipid bilayer for specific functions. So if the cholesterol will be present, then the structure is like this way. However, when there is saturated hydrocarbon tails, then the tails will be very straight and connected. However, when there is a fluid and unsaturated hydrocarbons tail, then there will be a bend in the tails. So here we have water, hydrophobic head and hydrophilic head, and phospholipid bilayer. This is another example of that lipid bilayers, and here this is another example of lipid bilayer. Just to have a look. So what are the specific functions of carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are also present there in the region of cell membrane, and these hydrocarbons just give protection to the cell and insulation to the cell. Also helps to bind different types of receptors or molecules for producing different types of signals for specific functions. And another function of carbohydrate is the attachment of a cell to another cell or tissue for specific functions, or for anchoring, or for transferring or say, giving signals. So these all are the functions of carbohydrates. So now, after gathering all the data about cell membrane, different types of proteins, and functions of different lipids and carbohydrate molecules, and have a look to the embedded proteins, transmembrane proteins, now we jump on the fluid mosaic model. What is the meaning of mosaic? Mosaic is anything that is constructed with the joining small pieces. If you have 100 small pieces, if anyone has an experience of Lego, Lego, a small blocks game for children, they just connect the blocks and make something. So say that is you can say that are mosaics. Something made up of small pieces is known as mosaic. Here you can see that many small pieces just connected with each other and make a flower. So this is also like a mosaic. So mosaic proteins dispersed among phospholipids in membrane, as we studied in previous slides, that this is the lipid bilayer, this is the tail, and this is the saturated hydrocarbon tail, this is the head, that are hydrophilic in nature. And these proteins are, you can say, if you are having a good look, that these are embedded in actual, specifically embedded in the cell membrane, and this region is hydrophobic in nature. However, this is hydrophilic in nature. this specific region of protein. So this is so mosaic means because so many small proteins, small particles, lipid bilayers, and different cholesterol and different compounds just connect with each other to make cell membrane. That's why it is known as fluid mosaic model. Like in a fluid, so many small pieces are connected with each other to make the cell membrane. Membrane is the collage of protein and other molecules embedded in the fluid matrix of the lipid bilayer. So, fluid mosaic model represents that the membrane, cell membrane is a combination or you can say pool of different proteins that is embedded in fluid and other molecules other molecules embedded in lipid bilayer. So here we can have a look if that this is the outer layer of cell. This is the cytoplasmic region. There's so many proteins, cholesterol, and different types of peripheral proteins, filamentous cytoskeleton. So these all just make the cell membrane. That's in actual the concept of fluid mosaic model. This is the extracellular fluid. This is the intracellular fluid of the cell that is present in the cytoplasm. This region is hydrophilic in nature. However, this region is hydrophobic in nature. It just gives a specific shape to the cell and protect to the cell, give protection to the cell, help in anchoring. So this is a transmembrane protein. This is also a transmembrane protein that in actual just pass from one side of the from the cell membrane with the lipid bilayer to the other side. Cholesterol. This is are the cholesterol molecules present in lipid bilayer as we already discussed. So in fluid mosaic model, membrane fat composition varies and depends from cell to cell and depends on the specific environment. Fat composition affects the flexibility of the cell membrane. Membrane should have flexibility and should has the specific permeability for the movement of different lines and molecules. Membrane has a specific thickness like a solid oil. Unsaturated fatty acids in phospholipids are also present in that protein layer. Keep membrane less viscous, increase the usually the flexibility and viscosity of the cell membrane increase in autumn. There are so many cholesterol molecules usually present in the cell membrane. So permeability to polar molecules, membrane becomes semi-permeable via protein channels. Specific channels allow specific material across the cell membrane. So we discussed this point many times before that protein cell membrane has the ability to help or to move the ions, molecules, drugs outside of the cell to inside of the cell. That is beneficial for the cell. However, cell membrane also help to degrade or move out the garbage from the cell to the outside of the cell. Here you can see, have a look, you can have a look that inside of the cell and this is outside of the cell. From inside or from outside, the things are moving. So these are the also alpha lysis transmembrane protein here. Now, however, you can see that outside of the cell, NH3 can go inside from this channel, specific channel. Every channel is specific for specific functions. So you can see that salt can only move from this channel, not from this channel, and ammonia is moving from this channel, not from this channel. So the channels are specific for the specific compound or ion or molecule. So water is coming out from the cell, amino acids can come out from the cell, sugar molecules can come out from the cell. So these are specific channels for these specific movements. Phospholipids form a single layer with heads in water and tails projecting out of the water, as we already discussed, and we see the many examples of this, that a single layer of phospholipids are present and head is in water. However, tails is outside of the water and embedded inside, can form stable structure called micelle if shaken up with water. Two layered structures can form a sheet that is bilayer, as we see that lipids bilayer and the heart is outside and tails are inside. Here we can have another look that this is micelle, liposome, and lipid bilayer sheet. So in fluid mosaic model and cell membrane, we just discussed about this, that these are the heads that is outside and tails are inside, and these are hydrophobic region, hydrophilic region. This is the hydrophobic region, and there is cholesterol molecules and other embedded proteins. So the phospholipid bilayer is visible using the electron microscope if it has the power of 100,000 and 7 nanometer wide layer of phospholipids are present, and also have so many proteins that can help for the specific functions. Model for the structure is called, this model is known as fluid mosaic model. So fluid, the individual phospholipids and protein molecules move around within their layers. However, mosaics describe the pattern produced by the scattered protein molecules when the surface of membrane is viewed from above. So as we discussed earlier that why it is a fluid mosaic model in actual specific model of cell membrane. Fluid is that specific individual phospholipid molecules and protein molecules that just move inside the lipid bilayer. And mosaic it is known as because it is made up of so many small pieces, and if you can have a look from upside of the cell membrane, you can see that these are so many pieces are embedded inside, and it seems like so many small pieces just connected and make their specific layer. So this is in this figure we just have a look from upside that you can see so many proteins and molecules and lipid bilayers and heads are connected and make a specific layer. So it is known as fluid mosaic model. What are the features of fluid mosaic model? Membrane is bilayer of phospholipid molecules that can move about by diffusion within their own mono layer. Phospholipid tails point inwards and form a non-polar hydrophobic interiors. Heads face the aqueous medium surrounding membrane. Some phospholipid tails are saturated and some are unsaturated. This is an actual the summary of a complete fluid mosaic model. And these points are we at these points we already discussed in our lecture and also in our lecture of cell membrane that what are the composition and specifically why we called it fluid mosaic model, what properties it has, how many types of protein it has, how many types of channel it has, what are the specificities of channel of these specific cell membrane protein, how it is permeable for what kind of compound. So these are just points we discussed, and these specific properties and abilities just make it a specific model. Thank you so much everyone for joining.